Conscious, non-personal talking. A lot of times when I go to talk about some of the stuff that has affected my personal life or has made my personality, or I would say persona, well, persona reality. When it comes down to my exes, I'm at a point now where, we have a government that seems to almost be against us. I'm not trying to say they are, but there's parts and there's things that sort of point that they are, and if they aren't, then I suggest they step up and show us that they aren't, especially when there's so many things saying that they aren't. And if they look so much like they are, there's really not many things looking like they aren't. They ought to try to work with people a little more. But that also affects the other way around, because people need to try to work with each other, not with the government. We need to govern our own mental mind. We need to govern our own thoughts, each of us. That's the point. If the government's got to do it for us, they're going to get rid of the people that they think aren't going to do it. And there's a mass of people in this area or a mass of people in that area that need to go, well, then something happens there. And if there's a mass of people all over the place, scattered out, they find a different way to do it. COVID-19. It's okay and it's understandable. There's a power squad where people think that that's something that should be done. So that they can keep the elite, and get rid of the parasitic who think negatively, who act negatively. Because if you act negatively, you are apparently thinking negatively. Now, there's also people who cover their negative intending and their negative acting with positive showmanship. Now, we've got to find something in between there. We have honest showmanship, honest acting, and honest intending with everyone and everything. When we can get there, we're even. We're perfect. We've been there. I've been there. But now, when I go back to talking about personality stuff, persona reality stuff, when it comes to my exes, I'm at a point where I don't think we should have child support anymore. If my kids need anything from me, I'm always at a phone call away for them to get a hold of me if they need money. Other than that, I'm ready right here all the time to talk to them. Always. Thing is, they don't seem to want to because they don't know what to ask. And not trying to point fingers, not trying to place any blames. I know why my exes may have had things against me in the past, but that's whatever it is then. Now, the thing is for them to be right here in the moment and realize that whatever they think in their head is just a thought in their head. And if they could listen to this a few times, they'd see what I'm saying. I don't think anything about who was the guy that I was then. There's no was anymore. I don't even see that anymore. It's gone. Was is the opposite of saw. Well, how is that possible? Because they're both things that you don't do. It's just in the head. Okay, let go of all those things. I don't want to get into weird word translations. Basically, put it this way. If you're not the same person that you've always been, you have to understand that nobody's the same person they've always been. And people do change. You can see that from their actions, not from them saying, hey, I've changed. That's a big no-no. People are like, I've changed, but you look exactly the same in every manner, not just expression. But here's the thing. Say, all of my exes, say both of them were to not have child support, and we'd have this really great communication and open communication. The government gives that last temptation of money. So I don't see that as a negative thing. The government gives the last temptation of money if the girl goes to get some kind of child support or whatever, because they feel, it's this weird odd feeling where you stuck me with this kid, and if I'm going to get stuck with this kid, I want money to help raise it. In my situation, the whole time, it's been the other way around, where I want to see my kids, and if you're going to keep them from me, you should pay me to have them for ripping that out of my life, because they are the priceless one. They are the valuable one. So why am I paying you to not let them talk to me when that's not valuing them and helping them grow completely? That's the opposite. And you have to understand that. I'm not putting anyone down, it's just the truth. If a child should have both parents, and they should, just because one doesn't or the other doesn't mean that other people shouldn't. It helps you be more well-rounded. Why do you think some people are more well-rounded and others aren't? It doesn't mean that they had parents. It just means that they had both the masculine mind and the feminine mind. And I had both. It took me a long time to see that in a human form. But whatever. I don't want to get into that stuff either because nobody gets that. And that's fine. But when it comes back to the people stuff, there should be no reason where we can't just... But we're all alive every day. There's nothing that's too stressful that we can't just talk about it and, okay, tomorrow's another day, we'll make it work then. There's nothing that's pressing this moment. And that's what people have to get rid of. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing that's pressing this moment at all. Even if there's a comet, unless there's a fiery ball crashing down upon you, then worry about it. If there's something horribly going on, then worry about it. But there's nothing pressing on us right now in this moment. People just act like there is. And now what we should do is see the stuff that is the most pressing at the moment, environmentally, and work on it there, because that's making us up. If you look inside a microscope and look all the way down, you see all these cool colors and gadgets and gadgets. When you look at a telescope and look all the way out, it's all kinds of stuff just expanded in a macro way. We are in the center of that. That's all. We're going around doing our thing, just like other things are going around doing their thing. They make up our bodies, they make up our plants, they make up our trees, they make up their life buildings. There's birds that move around and scope the skies so that we can learn more about where we are and what we're doing here. It's all the most magical, wonderful thing of nature. It's just we have our thoughts interfering. If flowers could talk, if birds could talk, if animals could talk, look what we make them say on movies. Like they have personalities. They don't. We do. And that's the problem. And at the same time, it's the blessing. We can make it wonderful. Or we can wonder about it and make it full of shit. And that's what we've been doing. So, not all of it. I mean, I love really all of it because it's a big learning experience. At the same time, we're doing it. So people can't say, this is not no learning experience. No, when it's hurting me and it's making me go through stuff. I'm like, well, if you weren't hurt from it and going through stuff, how enjoyable would it really truly be? I mean, you wouldn't know until you go through it and enjoy it. And then go through the pain again and go through something else and then enjoy that. Because if it's always just given right to you, you don't enjoy it. And you've known that. So that's why you do this, but you hate it while you're doing it. Now start enjoying it while you're going through it and ask yourself, why is this happening? And look deeper than just, because I'm having a bad day. That's stuff in your head. People say those kind of sayings to get you caught on yourself. Now, go a little deeper. And what's really bothering you? Take the step of talking it out with the people that have really affected you in your past, or get over those things completely. Let them go. There's no use holding on to anything from yesterday, because right now is this moment. The past can't come back. So all you're doing is reinitiating some old regurgitated thought in your head over and over and over. And that's going to not do anything but keep you stuck. It's only going to keep you stuck. So I would say I'd like to have a situation where anything my exes need, anything my kids need, anything anybody needs, they ask me and I do it for them. I'd like to drop the money and I would do it any other way. Help them with food, help them get around, do whatever. If we could work together like that in nature. Now we're in nature. We made money up so that we could give value to people. But now we've turned it into pushing people around. Animals and nature don't do that. That's what we're doing wrong. Some things conquer and divide, and then, they still don't, or I don't mean conquer and divide, I just mean some things are predators and there's prey, but at the same time, they also don't overdo it. They don't just kill for play. Not many of them, barely ever, if any. But for some reason we do. We have to stop doing this ridiculousness to put up trophies of the rest of them. We're not above them. We're among them. So, I know I said a lot right there, but that's because I care. And I just let it flow. So until next time,